the LCQs, and I think, for me, I just favor the team which comes through the LCQs because, man, that is such a trial by fire. You know, what a way to get into TI battling through those giants. Sitting down in the LCQs, it was brutal, and I'm a little bit surprised Liquid did make it through because there were so many big teams there, but they managed to show that they made of stern stuff and they made it through. Meanwhile, we got the side of Gaimin Gladiators. These guys, you know, probably one of the lesser known European teams, but they can bring a fight.
Yeah, I think they earned a lot of fans for themselves at the beginning of the season and had some really important placements. In the regional finals, I think they were first in the regional finals at the beginning of the year, and then did well in the first major. But it's been a little bit quiet for them since then. This is a team that has only one, TI attending a player that's attended TI more than once. It's a first time for everybody other than Ace,
right?
So. Yeah, it's a little tricky. I think they're still finding their feet on the big stage here.
Yeah, Gaimin definitely getting us the important TI experience right now, but at the same time, there's been so many Royal Roaders, so many people who have turned up to TI and then the very first one made it all the way through and won the tournament. So that's got to give them some kind of hope as we move into the first series of the day, and we have a draft on our hands. You won't be waiting around long, folks. Let's get into it. Nothing particularly exciting coming out from the first phase here. Just Shadow Fiend picked up from Gaimin.
Yeah, important to take that one away from Liquid. And okay, they're going to go for the Lesh and snag the Tiny, so we will not be seeing ranged support for Boxy this time around. Just gonna get some of his comfort. He has looked, I would say, at least in the last chance qualifiers, he looked a little stronger on like the Tusk, the Marcy. The Tiny was maybe a slightly lower priority, but I think he's been playing fantastically so far in the groups. I was really impressed with his Primal Beast game yesterday, even though they did end up losing that series against LGD.
Yeah, and we're grabbing two of the really high win rate heroes here as well. Shadow Fiend out of 38 matches has got a win rate of 60%. And that's nothing compared to Tiny, who's sitting at 71% over 31 matches. So these two heroes looking very hot at the moment.
Yeah, and so Gaimin, they've been playing this Enchantress a lot. Like we said, they haven't been winning that much, so their record with the hero is not amazing, but Celery certainly plays it fantastically. And just going to stick to their guns here. Keep on picking it up whenever they're offered it.
Yeah, which I think is good. I think it's offers them a lot of stability, a lot of heroes, which can kind of give them comfort in that regard. So Enchantress definitely does that.
Yeah, and the Ench can be kind of flexible even within her own role. Like some games we see you don't get any impetus, you're just going to be there to kind of run in at the beginning of the team fight, sort of puppy style, right, with the heals and just be a vision provider. And then some games you're never under any threat of dying, so you can just max impetus, buy a Dragon Lance, and become a damage dealer. So I think they like that, and then they also like the just kind of the guaranteed push that it gives them. Gaimin do like to play pretty push-oriented lineups, right? A lot of what's going on in the offlane for them with Ace is like Beastmaster, Visage, these kinds of heroes. So they do like that group up and push style.
No, absolutely. That is very much in their wheelhouse. And something they can kind of offer, something which both teams can offer, to be honest.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Liquid have not shied away from grabbing push strats when they think that they're appropriate. They've looked good in the 60+ minute games, and they've also had some incredibly fast, like 25 or sub 25 minute victories. So can still go either way in this draft.
So in terms of bans, we have the Drow, we have the Pudge, and we have the Morphling taken out from Gaimin Gladiators. Nothing particularly targeted here, just things which are strong at the moment and things they don't want to play against. Meanwhile, Liquid, they're going to get rid of the Pangolier, the Beastmaster, one more ban to go. I have a feeling it's going to be the Brew. I have a feeling they don't want to play against that.
Yeah, maybe put some more pressure onto Ace. I think they could ban I think the Visage is also possible ban, but I don't know if Liquid are going to be playing the Brew. So if they're considering taking the Visage themselves, then they could maybe just ban Brewmaster here.
There's also Nyx Assassin scuttling around as well, which kind of scares me. That hero's also had a very high win rate, and I think it's been one of my favorite heroes of the of TI so far. I think that guy's looked great. I think he's criminally underpicked. Yeah,
Nyx has looked amazing. We've just had some huge performances from some pretty top teams here in the groups. I do wonder what Tofu's going to end up playing, because he does have a slightly different support hero pool from some of the other position 4s at this event. He does play a lot more ranged 4 than the melee 4s, but Tusk is one that he has played. They picked 2 games of Shaker yesterday in their series against RNG. There's been conversations going around, I think, that Shaker is just not looking good. I don't know if you've seen the Kips tweet, which is like, players like Earthshaker more than they like winning. I'm kind of on that hype train as well. So hopefully not going to see it from Gaimin Gladiators here.
Yeah, seems unlikely. Seems unlikely. It's only really a good answer to like a hard counter pick when none of these heroes are kind of super popular right now. I do like it as an answer to a spirit hero or someone you just want to catch out in lane. That stun from fog is something I can get behind, but that's about it. Those are the only 2 situations where I like the hero, and that's not super needed at the moment. As a Lich comes out from Liquid, this has been something they've been trying a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, they've been testing it out. I think Witch Doctor was kind of their support of the last chance qualifiers for Insania, but yeah, the Lich has been coming in. I love any kind of buffs on the Slush Rack, right? The attempted answer to the Slush Rack has been get one of these big long-range physical damage heroes and just click him down before he can get on top of you, and the Frost Shield going to be very useful for that. I do wonder what Liquid's carry pickup is going to be. Like, the Tusk and the Beastmaster bans kind of suggest maybe it isn't going to be a carry that has like an easy escape or all that much mobility, and they're going to end up going for the Underlord. Has this hero even been picked?
I was literally just scrolling down.
Yeah, check it out. This could be our, like, maybe he's been banned. I don't remember seeing him on the uncontested list off the top of my head.
1 game, Beast Coast picked it versus Tundra, and they lost.
Okay, yeah, this style of offlaner has just completely gone out of favor, and I find it kind of interesting that they pick it in a spot where they don't know what the carry is just yet for Liquid, so they're a little blind. I don't know if there's any world where they're like thinking of running an Underlord mid or something. That's maybe way too out there.
They're just gonna get Aster now. I'm fairly certain Aster just looks incredible for Liquid.
Yeah, Ursa seems really good. They don't really have tools to deal with it. The Disruptor can be a little bit annoying. And any of the like build up the stacks carries seem totally fine. So your Slorks, your Ursas, your Monkey Kings.
Yep. I mean, Liquid might even feel luxury not to pick it here because they know there's so many heroes which can deal with this Underlord that you can't ban all 3 of those heroes, right?
Yeah, I think they've still got a lot of flexibility. Maybe Gaimin, they can look at like some kind of aggro try with the Underlord trying to go for a 1v1 in the safe lane. I don't know, but picking the Disruptor is not, like, doesn't immediately scream to me tri-lane versus tri-lane. So they're just gonna have to deal with whatever matchup they get here, and yeah, Liquid quite happily just go for their Lifestealer.
Yep.
5 seconds remaining.
This isn't a hero they've been playing a ton, to be fair, but as we've seen from Liquid in this tournament especially, you know, they've been super focused on trying to expand their hero pool as much as possible, win with everything. That's been the gameplay plan for them from the start, and that honestly has been a super big buff. So I'm not surprised to see them giving it a try after seeing LGD success with it.
Yeah, they did play it 4 times in the last chance qualifier, I think. Though I don't know if we've seen it that much in groups. So something that has
groups yet.
Yeah, something that's kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit for them, but looking like a pretty good game for it. Yeah, seems all right here.
Yeah, I still would have preferred something which absolutely owns the Underlord, you know, just get him out of the game. But if they don't see it as a threat, then they just want to pick whatever's going to work best in their lineup.
I do think that this matchup is still pretty tough. Like, we saw against we saw against the Mars, like, Lifestealer against some of these heroes. Once you just get 2 or 3 points in Ghoul Frenzy and you pick up your Orb of Corrosion, if that's going to be the choice, like, the offlaners just cannot get away And they don't have a support to really peel the lifestealer or like create space. Again, they kind of have two position 5s because Tofu does play a lot of these ranged supports more than anything.
Yeah, and even the supports were lifestealers are going to chew through them as well. Like the Rage versus Disruptor is very annoying. The Rage versus Enchantress means you can just chew through the Untouchable. Like it's a feast for this guy.
Yeah. Okay, so we're still looking for... Well, both teams think that the other team is looking for a mid, despite the Leshrac and the Shadow Fiend already being picked up. I kind of agree with Liquid's read. I think that we are probably going to see something else for Boom, and Duracho is going to be playing the Shadow Fiend, but for Liquid, I have to imagine that it's just Mickey playing the Leshrac.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's going to be the case this time around. So, final pick for Gaimin here. They need their mid laner. So many mids have just been banned out.
I feel like they need some catch. Like, they've got teamfight, but it's just not easy to walk up and lock anybody down. There's no BKB piercing disables for the lifestealer, so it's one of these things that you always have to look for with like lifestealer and Jug. If there isn't a way to punish them being on the lane, they are just going to run down your lanes.
Yeah, they've got Boom, so they will be playing a Shadow Fiend at mid and take the Aster in the safe lane instead.
Okay.
Good matchup versus the Lifestealer. Good matchup versus the Leshrac somewhat, provided you can burst him in time, so...
They're just going to get Veno'd here?
I'm behind this pick.
Is Liquid just going to pick Veno for Zai? It's like, I think that's supposed to be the unplayable matchup for Ursa.
Yeah, that could be really interesting. I can definitely see them doing that.
Yeah, seems tough.
Yeah, and you know they even have other options as well. You know, they could go for a Viper or something like that. But nope, there you go. Good call. Venomancer comes out from Liquid. Oh, and that is going to make their draft very, very difficult to play into for this Ursa. Final pick. Venomancer coming out from the side of Liquid. You got to be expecting it if you pick up Ursa in this last phase here on Gaimin Gladiators. So let's hope that they have a plan.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm super leaning Liquid here. I think they've got a lot of comfort. We've seen all of their players on these heroes over the course of the LCQs and the groups, and I don't believe in Underlord for Gaimin Gladiators.
I mean, all these lanes are looking so difficult. You know, maybe Boom can do something magical at mid, but you look towards the side lanes, and it's going to be Ursa versus Venomancer, which sounds awful, and it's going to be Lifestealer versus Underlord, which also sounds awful. So I reckon we're going to have some issues in the side lanes here for Gaimin.
And they can't really swap their way out of it either. Like, what are they going to do? They're going to stick the Underlord against the Venomancer instead. That might be marginally better than what they've got, but then still might not be great necessarily. Yeah, I think Boom's going to pop off this game. If they...
Yeah, it's all on him, isn't it? It's all on him. But, you know, we've seen Shadow Fiends pop off. They can absolutely carry games by themselves if you give them the right opportunity to do so. So it's within the realms of possibility, but is it in the realms of likelihood? I'm not sure. I mean, we've seen Leshrac versus Shadow Fiend before. Generally, it's been pretty okay for the Shadow Fiend, but I don't think I would say there's a huge advantage there.
Yeah, it's a little volatile. You know, you got to be careful about when you commit. Leshrac can probably kill him if he cracks level 6 first. We've seen that a few times. The one thing that I'm looking at is just what kind of rotations can we get to mid. I think it's kind of boxy against Celery. I can't imagine that the Disruptor is going to be too involved in that, but both mid laners fairly immobile, so fairly susceptible to ganks, and that's where we could see these roaming supports get stuff done.
Yep, and I have to say, you know, when it comes down to players, Boxy has just been so good on these rotations. He has been moving into the middle lane and getting stuff done every single time, so definitely feeling like that could be a really strong boon for the side of Liquid. Let's get into it. Game number 1, it is Liquid versus Gaimin Gladiators EU Showdown here at the D-Stream and T11 group stages. Just to remind you guys, Gaimin Gladiators are currently sitting 1 place behind Liquid on the scoreboard. So if they want to break into that top 4 and maybe look at securing themselves an upper bracket at 2-0 here would be instrumental in doing that.
Yeah, very important series for both teams. Liquid, if they want to be secure upper bracket, this is also going to be the kind of series that they might even need to 2-0. They were on an absolute tear yesterday, but LGD did slow their roll a little bit, and the top 4 in Group A is pretty hotly contested right now.
So how important is adaptability in your draft when it comes to playing in TI?
I think we've seen it be quite important, right? These teams that are getting away with like, oh, we get the SF and we've got it flex across 2 lanes. Liquid's looked really good because they've been willing to stick Matu mid occasionally, and they do have a little bit of overlap between him and Mickey. So I think it can matter, but at the same time, it's not the most important thing necessarily. We have also seen other teams where you know exactly who's going to be playing what. There's no flex, and yet they still look just fine.
Good option to have for sure. I think, again, that's why heroes like Shadow Fiend end up being so popular. If they're really powerful and you can play them across 2 roles, that is that's a sweet spot.
Yeah, and then you've got the additional flex of like, oh, maybe you can play Magic Shadow Fiends as well. Hasn't been that popular. It's mostly just been like a casual Arcane Blink gets picked up at some point and opens up a whole new option for the hero. But yeah, I think in last chance qualifiers, we saw 1 or 2 like Yule's Blink kind of a deal.
Ooh, big miss on the range creep there for Boom, so that's going to start things up a little bit sadly for him in the middle lane, but overall, we do expect a pretty even trade here at mid. Maybe Boom can catch him out, but it's all going to be about the rear support rotations.
We do have lane swaps already happening, by the way, so that they didn't want to play the Ursa into the Venomancer, but Liquid are just walking to try and force these lanes, so we might see some TPs. Could be one of those laning stages.
Yeah, but whoever TP's first, is just going to end up on their sad side. So you need to try and get a kill onto a core, and that could be very difficult as we see all 3 lanes here.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Liquid with quite a lot of kill threat down bottom here.
Yeah, they do. If they get a toss back into a Gale, it's going to be really, really hard to fight. But Boxy has started with the first point in tree throw just to try and get some denies and get themselves a little bit of XP advantage where possible. So it's almost always what we see the pos for Tiny's been doing recently.
Yeah, I think it depends on your laning partner a little bit, like when your timing is going to be. If you both have a level 2 timing, then we do sometimes see the Avatos as the play, but Venomancer doesn't have necessarily huge power spikes, so I think you can get away with just grabbing the T-grab. Get the toss back.
We see it. Yeah, they do indeed. Celery trying to TP out. That's not going to happen, though. He's now dead without a TP. Boxy getting first blood down in the bottom lane. Enchantress trying to play in the trees, but just gets caught with her pants down. Sania's being beaten up as well. Tofu going to drag him back with a glimpse, and that'll be the second kill of the game. This one grabbed by Tofu.
If Enchantress wore pants, how do you think she would wear them?
The greatest questions of our time.
Yeah. Oh, Daracho tried to jump away to get immediately tossed by Boxy. This is going to be a lot of damage. He's trying to TP top. He cancels it.
Oh, no.
Wait. Did you think it was too long of a TP? They don't have Avalanche.
Oh, God. And now the top lane aces to... All right.
Okay, well, they're getting bopped in these lanes.
So, game 2, what do Gaimin Gladiators...
Oh, no, come on.
Too early for that conversation.
Yeah. So, okay, to get back in, got to get some levels on the Enchantress. Got to try and find a good creep. This is so painful. They're having to walk the Ursa to top. Ace, anticipating that there might be some more lane swaps again, is also trying to save his TP so that they can try and get the matchups again. But
gosh, I can't believe that just happened to Daracho. Like, I feel like you just commit to the TP there as well, right? If you start the TP, you might as well just see if you can make it. The worst case scenario is just to cancel and just.
Yeah, if you cancel it, you're dead for sure. So maybe just try with the TP and see what happens. Looking a little nervy. Oh, and Boxy, the rotations.
This is huge. He's got the mangoes as well to go for the toss back here. Boom, no chance of surviving through this one. The wand is there, but the right click's coming through from Mickey and Boxy, and they will be able to finish the job there as Gaimin will now lose their mid laner. The one piece of hope they have is thrown into the shredder as well, so all 3 lanes now looking like it's going to be a little bit Liquid favored.
Boxy even mangoed Mickey in the middle of that to like give him the mana to potentially finish the kill with Lightning Storm, and then Mickey just auto-attacked him to death anyway, so
yeah.
Thanks for the mana, buddy.
Yeah, you've been scammed.
Yep.
Oh, dude, I really need mango. You got to give me a mango for Lightning Storm. Just kidding. Thanks for the mana, idiot. Got him again.
He's still got 3 more mangoes. I don't think he's too unhappy. Boxy getting a ton done. And Insania TPing down bottom does get scouted out by this hill troll, but
is it gonna matter? Wait,
angry neutral creeps getting involved.
Oh my god, that's a traitor neutral creep right there. She's supposed to be a friend of the forest, but they're moving across to Ace. They want the big kill. Boxy's gonna deal with Celery, and now they move over towards the Underlord. Ace trying to get under his tower. The blocks coming out for a Boxy, or Bloxy as you could call him there, as they take down Ace and Celery. Domination through this laning phase from Liquid right here. 6 kills in 5 minutes.
This is a bit of a steamrolling. So the recent results for this do favor Liquid. I think they've 2-0'd Gaimin in the last couple of series they've played.
No. He's not just going to die again, is he? Oh my god, he just TP'd back to the lane and Matsu just eats him. Mickey does die in the middle lane, so we have a rotation coming in as they will get that kill, but they also kill off Boom, so it's just entirely... Alright, some actual good news. The Venomancer managed to die down the bottom.
Yeah, they got the Veno in the end, or at least get the gold for it, and they did get a turnaround kill at mid, and Boxy's dead at top now. Okay, Duracho able to chase him down there, recovering his game just a little bit. Very important couple of minutes for Gaimin. Yeah, this is much needed for them.
Yeah.
Arms for the dead.
Still having a very difficult game on the Underlord. Ace is still only level 3. He's going to crack level 4 soon-ish, but I still just don't really understand what this pick was supposed to do for them.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. It feels awkward. It feels like it's just so easily answered by so
Looking
many
for Zai,
heroes, which is
just
so
running
strong
at
at the
him.
moment. Yeah. There should be a kill. Tofu's got the glimpse, so Zai will be thrown back. Duracho going to be able to land with the Earth Shock, and Zai will get brought down. So, Gaimin Gladiators grouping up and making some important plays to kind of stabilize this game for them.
Getting some kind of bizarre rotations from both sides, right? Sticking the offlaner and the carry suddenly appearing together at 5-6 minutes. Nobody's quite sure where anybody is on the map. The vision's kind of all just along the rivers currently. Nothing scouting any TPs onto towers or anything like that. Tofu with the sneaky observer up here at top. Maybe he was looking for a glimpse, but Zai's not going to fall for that one this time around.
He's been around these parts long enough to know about that. Let's back onto Boxy. It's Tofu trying to keep himself alive. Boxy does not have the avalanche available anymore, so that's going to be Tofu getting himself out. Nice plays from the Disruptor. Man, look at this mid lane. 2 points in Edict, starting to get busy on the tower. Fortification is going to be used, so we'll keep it alive, but that's about it. Mickey still whacking away at it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So what's
bottom lane? Gaimin trying to make the trade on the buildings.
Yeah, I got the Dark Troll Summoner. It's doing something. Definitely not the most value trade, and hurts this kind of thing happening to you when you've got an Underlord on your team. As the Tumba Man is just going to force Boom to TP away here.
My god. It's all the way back to Fountain as well. He's taking a long
Just
journey
not done.
home as a middle lane's gonna... Yep, there's a Rage countering out Tofu. Tofu just trying to run away, but there is nowhere to go. Mickey's going to be able to bring him down with Pulse Nova. And just makes absolutely sure that no one is going to contest them as they finish off his middle tier 1 tower.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, I don't know how Gaimin Gladiators fight them. Again, we said during the draft that the catch is really not there, and it's a bit of a big problem. Celery's gonna do his usual thing, make some space on the map by just spamming out the enchant creeps.
Yeah, just floods the middle tier 1 tower.
Matoma is just walking at them. They can't do anything about this lifestealer.
Ace is like, alright, well, guess I'm dead. Now the next tower for Liquid, they are just not letting up the pressure right now. Gaimin Gladiators just suffocating here. They are, like, as I said, flooding the middle lane with creeps, just trying to put on pressure where they can. They did take bottom tower as well, so it's not like it's an entirely one-sided game, but Liquid are just uncontestable on the map at the moment.
I don't know how you find any kills, especially with this support duo. Like the only way that you have to lead anything off is walk up and glimpse somebody back, and they got a kill on Zai doing that, but
Radiant's bottom tower is under
nothing
attack.
to stop Matu just really doing whatever he wants, unless you somehow static storm him from the trees. But they don't even have the level 6 on the disruptor just yet.
Yeah, that's a bit of an issue.
So for Gaimin, I think the one comeback mechanic is maybe they can chip down this mid tower. That might open up the Roshan a little bit. Maybe they can sneak it with just the Enchantress and the Ursa. Just rushing a BKB on the Shadow Fiend. I think he knows that they can't just sit back and farm.
Yeah, and like another saving grace they have on Gaimin Gladiators as well is that they always have an Ursa versus a Venomancer. So whilst it is really bad in the lane,
Just killing Celery.
oh my god, run, Celery! Oh no!
He got the courier.
Worth.
Where are you going?
Where are you going? Yeah, slow him before you die. Good luck walking back to lane, Mickey.
Okay, showing him who's the superior weird centaur creature in this situation.
There's so many centaurs in Dota. Like, we have 3 in this game already.
True. Oh, you're counting Underlord as yeah, I guess he counts.
Yeah, absolutely he is.
Yeah,
I'll fist fight anyone who says otherwise.
1v1 me in Singapore. Let's go.
Yep.
I'll meet you outside the arena.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, just very difficult to exert themselves on the map. It's, Boom is chilling in the trees by his tier 1 at bottom because there isn't really anywhere else to be. The lifestealer being able to just be up here by himself at top is a real problem. Like Liquid feel very confident to just have a core in each lane and kind of go from there.
Yeah, like the one thing they can really do is kind of blow up the Venomancer. They have Ursa, so that tier is somewhat killable, but at the same time, the likelihood of you killing him before he gets the poison over is pretty slim, and then once he's done that, the rest of the team is just going to come and kill you. So it's really not a realistic option.
Smoke from Liquid.
Yeah, they're looking in here. They're going to find Ace. They got the Yules. They've got the Stomp to follow up as well, and now the damage is going to start coming through onto the Underlord, and Ace is going to fall.
Oh, I love this Yules build from Mickey, actually. Like, it's just...
throwback.
Yeah, but it's just the item against Ursa, right? So... And even if he gets caught in the Static Storm kinetic field as well, it's a good defensive tool there. It did fall super out of favor because the mana cost is just ridiculous to the amount of mana regen it gives you these days, but very useful this game for them.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yule's definitely going to be a very value pickup this time around. I'm still a big fan of Wind Waker. I wish when they made Wind Waker cheaper, but it is really strong.
It's really powerful. Yeah, it's cool when it does come out, but it would be a little ridiculous if it was too cheap. Especially if Yules was a better item. Like if Yules was really good, and then the marginal cost to Wind Waker wasn't that much, I think we would just see like 4 Wind Wakers every game. Gaimin trying to make a play. Zai breaks it.
To Zai here, then the ultimate comes out from Tofu to make sure there is no Poison Nova from Zai. Doesn't even have it leveled yet, actually, so that proves that the kind of game which Liquid are playing. They want to skirmish. They're not really anticipating the 5v5 team fights at the moment, but that will mean that Zai goes down without a word.
Radiant's middle tower is
Yeah,
under
we're
attack.
still pretty close. Nothing too ridiculous. Both teams trying to find what farm they can on the map. I mean, Celery's doing a pretty good job of just setting himself up in the Radiant jungle. He's going to get scouted out by Boxy here. But there's nobody else in the neighborhood. Anyone want to TP for this Enchantress?
Yeah, and also Boxy can like never hit him as well. Like with the untouchable level 1, it's go on Boxy, come and slap him. Okay, he's just gonna throw the tree at him.
Yeah, they don't want to use the avalanche in case he can TP. Alright, he's low enough now.
Okay, he's only gonna toss him into the air, kill him off with the magic spells. Absolutely fine.
Toby's dead on the other side of the map.
All right, Liquid feasting on supports at the moment, absolutely decimating the side of Gaimin Gladiators.
Protect the ward, Duracho. Kill the sentry again. The overpower's too strong. Ursa support. It's the new meta. You can't D-ward against him. It's too fast.
Yeah, too quick. What can you do?
Well, they just Liquid will they'll store that one in the brain bank and come back and D-ward it later. They know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they'll deal with it. 14 minutes into this game, 14 kills on the side of Liquid. I'll be honest, I expected a little bit more of a net worth advantage following on from this laning phase and this kind of map pressure which Liquid have been able to put down. But Gaimin, they do have these heroes which can farm very well. They have Boom on the Shadow Fiend, you know, such good bounce back mechanics on this hero. Aster as well has been able to pick himself up a couple of value kills, and he hasn't even died that much in the laning phase. So all in all, Gaimin, I would say, have done much better than they should have out of this lane. And now they're looking to Mickey. Mickey could be in some trouble here. He's got the Yules though, just gonna buy himself a bit of time. The ultimate's there from the S. They've got the Static Storm and the Kinetic Field coming out onto Mickey. They need to finish him off. He's getting off way too much damage here. Duracho's gonna be the one to fall. Chain Frost doing hella work in this fight as well. Matu's gonna rip through with the triple kill. They'll look towards Celery as well. Boxy's gonna watch him TP out because he can't actually hit the guy, but still, 3 big heroes down inside of Gaimin Gladiators. Yes, they do get Mickey, but it just took way too long to bring him down. Yules, one item.
Yeah, doing work. I'm loving the itemization coming out from Liquid as we get to see this again. Yeah, so he lives a little longer. They didn't quite get the toss that they were hoping for, sending Matu into the Static Storm, but didn't matter too much. Didn't mind finding himself on top of the Ursa, and this Chain Frost just did so much work.
Yeah, he did 1,400 damage there in that fight on Sonya.
Pretty darn
As
good.
a hero with boots and windlace, that is pretty good.
Yeah. You were saying that like you thought Liquid might be able to put on a little bit more pressure, but they also had some catch problems until they picked up this blink on the Tiny, and Boxy did take a slightly longer route to get there, picking up the arcane boots first, but I think we should just see more of them continuing to pressure from here. And the fights are hard to play for Gaimin as well because of the Plague Wards. There's just always kind of going to be some vision. Makes it easy for Boxy to do this.
Unleashing it on to the Shadow Fiend, but he's got the BKB. Needs to pop the Requiem. No, maybe he doesn't actually. The team are here to back him up, and they'll turn around and they'll just bring down Boxy. So in comes the Fiend's Gate. We're starting to see a little bit of use coming out of this Underlord.
Did Celery just force staff his Centaur to get that stomp? That was just pretty sick.
Oh, cute.
Nice little play.
Love to see it.
Still, I think that's not bad for Liquid, right? Boom, all of his net worth is in this BKB currently, and having that on cooldown does mean that Liquid should just be able to dust themselves off and go again as soon as they've got their Tiny back alive. Yeah,
great position to be in.
Oh, Mickey he thought about getting a Heaven's Halberd, but deciding that the Bloodstone is just too good on Lesh, and is going to be going for that instead.
Yeah, it's so nice. The mana, oh, delicious. Healing, oh, don't even get me started. One item.
But only on Leshrac. Nobody else buy it. It's only for Lesh. It's his special item.
Or if you're running a core Skywrath mage who's 70 minutes into the game.
Oh, right.
That very popular scenario, which we see all the time. Liquid running into the pit. They've got a meeting to keep with Roshan. 18 minutes in the pit. You and me, baby. And your entire team. He's into that kind of thing, Rosh. AJ's going to be dropped here unless Gaimin can do anything about it. But at the moment, you know, they're still very respectful of this Liquid draft. They're still very aware that these guys have the early game advantage with the heroes they've picked, but it's actually Gaimin able to pick up a net worth advantage now. So I don't know how they've managed this. This is illegal. They're breaking the rules here a little bit.
Yeah, all of their cores are farming okay, and Celery, as we've been saying, has been taking space on the other side of the map. His scoreline's not great, but Liquid don't really want to be killing him, right? And he's providing vision, providing information. So it makes some sense to me that this is kind of the situation that they find themselves in. Zai's put his body on the line a couple of times as well. He's not really farming all that much. But taking the Aegis away is really tough in the Ursa lineup.
Yeah, it is. But I think, honestly, Celery's been my MVP of the game so far. He's just been able to make so much space just by being annoying, existing on the other side of the map, and forcing Liquid to kind of slow the game down, which they really didn't want to do after this laning phase.
You can absolutely see why they believe in this hero so much for Celery. He really makes it look super good, even when hardly anybody else is playing it.
You can see here as well from the positioning from Liquid, like Mickey's the only one on their side of the map, on the enemy side of the map at the moment, which is where they really want to be.
Yeah, big cross-map smoke from Gaimin. Gonna see if they can find anyone up here.
This could be huge. This could be absolutely huge. Don't forget this life track is not the Aegis carrier. They gave it to the Lifestealer so they can find Mickey here, and they're going to Fiend's Gate in on top of him as well. Mickey realizing that he could be in some trouble, but is it too little, too late? The team is coming over on the side of Liquid. Gaimin, they're respecting this guy a lot. Yules comes out onto him at the same time as the Kinetic Field and the Static Storm does it. Mickey is gone. The Requiem is there, and they will find the kill. A huge movement out from Gaimin Gladiators. Absolutely outmaneuvering Liquid in this mid game.
Yeah, there's a ward on this high ground that Liquid actually didn't deal with earlier, so...
Matu getting onto Celery. Celery just going to force stuff himself away. And Dracho getting in onto Boxy here. Boxy's going to be the next target. He's going to get eaten up as well. Gaimin playing defensively so well as they move it. Zai needs to leave. He has got himself a Poison Over, but really doesn't want to use it just yet, especially when he's one level away from 12. So they'll back themselves out. Hitting the reset button a little bit here, Liquid. They do still have the Aegis on the Lifestealer, but yeah, what a position to be in.
Yeah, in fact, Gaimin just easily walk up there, take the kill onto the Leshrac, and carry on with their day. They are playing pretty grouped up, but they're getting these big auras online for Ace. Really going to cut down the damage on the Lesh especially. He's already got the pipe. He's going for the Wraith Pact. And Matu looking at Celery, but notice that he's got this Force Staff, so doesn't want to commit. That was great.
He's such...
Get the Satyr out of there.
Yeah, steals the Satyr, healing him up to full, staffing it away. He's just like, my creep! Like taking candy from a baby.
Matu's just like, yeah, whatever, I'll take your tier 1 tower. What are you gonna do about that? Force staff this.
Full staff this, casual. Boxy and Matu currently moving across the map together. If anyone shows, they will load them up, but Gaimin Gladiators seems to be pretty aware of them. They're moving up top, though.
Want the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, this could be a really big pickup here, but the BKB available from Boom. He's got a BKB TP away. He wants absolutely nothing to do with this gank and outmaneuvers them once again. Liquid, though, doing a good job of putting some pressure on, but at the same time, they're not really finding the fights they want. I mean, sure, they've taken the tier 1 towers, but again, you know, like, Gaimin are just farming. They're just getting money.
They're doing a great job of avoiding them. And just managing to kind of keep some of their wards sticking on the map as well. This one in the dire jungle's kind of cute. It's very, very difficult to get rid of. And just provides that little sliver of vision coming through. Liquid still have a minute on the Aegis, and it does seem like they'll just muscle down this top tier 2. Take some more control.
Yep, there it goes. The Desolator, Lifestealer, absolutely obliterating the buildings. But again, like it seems very patient and well considered from Gaimin. Like there's no panic here. There's no overreactions. You know, they're just not taking fights unless they really know they can defend it. Now there is a bit of damage coming through onto their top tier 3. This is maybe something you've got to do.
They've got a timing coming up though. They've got a DD bottled and only 20 seconds left on this Aegis for the Lifestealer. So Matu does need to be a little bit careful, but he's not really playing with fire. The Rage, like we said, is very safe. They're hoping for a cross-map play, finding somebody in the Radiant jungle, though Gaimin are not being greedy. They're actually smoked up themselves, looking for Mickey again, perhaps.
Yeah, they're going to find Zai here. Zai actually going to pop down the Poison Nova, and they've got the Chain Frost bouncing off with the Ice Spire here as well, so that is going to get off a lot of damage, but Zai will fall. They'll kill off the Ice Spire as they go around the backlines and kill off Tofu, but boom, pop the DD, and the BKB are just turning around and wailing on Liquid. They have to back themselves away. So now the BKB is over. Is there a possibility of re-engaging? Nah, I don't think so, especially with Boxy being killed off on the sidelines here. Celery just running him down with the impetuses, and that'll be another kill going the way of Gaimin. They win the fight in the mid lane.
It's too much damage from the Shadow Fiend. They wanted to man up on him, but SF showing his power here. Zai, he got his mana burn, so he couldn't get the Force Staff off initially, but even if he had, he would have gotten glimpsed back, so not a huge deal. And yeah, the Lifesteal is showing some difficulty. They do have the picks to kind of deal with them in the man fight, right? The Ursa's there, big physical damage from the Shadow Fiend as well. So it's not like Matu can just go toe-to-toe in these team fights. They're really relying on the Venomancer controlling the Ursa and then bringing him down a little bit later on. You know, same story with the Yules as well.
Yeah. I mean, with the DD there on Boom, I think that was a bit of a difference maker and something which they weren't quite prepared for in Liquid. But yeah, I mean, for the next fight, Boom might even have this data list finished, so that's essentially a double damage rune anyway.
Yeah, pretty big. And this Wraith Pact is super hard for Liquid to deal with. Like, it's only really Matu who can hit it, and he doesn't want to spend his rage duration just sitting there and dealing with the Wraith Pact totem.
No.
So, we doubted this. We doubted this Underlord pick a little bit, but yeah, Ace starting to have some impact, and even with the slow start, quite a bit ahead of Zai in terms of the net worth, just the natural farming prowess of the Underlord.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. I was behind the Underlord pick from the beginning. Never a doubt from me. You're making things up.
Retcon.
Radiant's top tower is
Gaslighting.
under attack. Radiant are scanning.
You're gonna go dub over the VOD.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Matu actually backing away from the Biangle area here is Dyrachyo. Making a statement, just rolling down into the lane. Gaimin Gladiators saying, hey, we know we're strong now. We're going to start taking a bit of the map for ourselves.
Yeah, looking pretty good. Both teams going to be thinking about the Roshan, potential respawn in 30 seconds. And nice for Gaimin Gladiators that they've got this Underlord. He can kind of always deal with any pressure on the lanes, be ready to join the team with the Fiend's Gate. And for Liquid, what is the timing really? Mickey just trying to tank up a little bit more. See if there's ways to deal with this right click coming in from the Ursa and the Shadow Fiend. So got the BKB, going to be going for the Shivas next, and Liquid with a smoke of their own, but not really any vision to go and play to. Probably trying to set some more up over in the Dire jungle. Maybe take the outpost for themselves. Outpost control going to be really crucial for this next Roshan fight.
Sania actually hands his wards over towards Boxy, so yeah, they really want Boxy to be the one on the front lines, placing the vision down and then making the jump, because he is heavily pregnant at the moment. Congratulations, the beautiful baby Matu sitting inside him, ready to pop out. And any given moment, the Gaimin Gladiators, they're going for the wraparound as well.
They see Zai.
Yeah,
sitting right on top of a
target
ward.
to jump as well, and they're going to try and take him down immediately. Zai, though, force stuff away as Tofu's the one who gets picked off first on the backlines here, and Zai's still alive as he's able to get himself out. They'll focus on the Ice Fight to try and get rid of that as Ace
Chain
and
Frost.
Celery having a bit of a cuddle here. Not really doing a whole lot, to be fair, especially with the Nature's Attendants healing them through it. Mickey on the front here, trying to find the target, but Dyrachyo jumps in again and finds offside the backlines. Boxy also gets taken down by Boom. Mickey trying to fight up into this. He does deal a lot of damage. Boom, no BKB. He's going to get taken down on the Shadow Fiend, and Ace as well. Going to get eaten alive by Matu. 2 kills going the way of the Life Stealer. Gaimin Gladiators thinking about re-engaging here, but there is not really an option to do so. Dyrachyo and Celery will probably just have to back themselves away. They're thinking about it, aren't they? There's a part of them which wants to try and do something about this Roshan, but there's nothing to be done.
Yeah, doesn't seem like they're going to be able to get it. They kited the BKBs too well on Liquid. Dyrachyo, popped initially. He's going on to Mickey now. Trying to get them on the other side.
Yeah, a little bit more damage will be required, and Celery's going to find it. Oh my goodness, this Enchantress, what a Chad. As they look forward for more, glimpse back onto Martu. Oh no, Martu, he's going to lose the Aegis here unless he can keep healing up. Boxy's going to actually try and come in. They'll turn it around into Drasho. He's the one who's dead instead. And now they'll move over towards Tofu. Tofu going to hold back Matuma Man, but Boxy's just taking chunks out of him. One more punch will do the trick. Says, get inside me, my boy. We're going for a ride, and the Infest will get the kill.
Oh, it was a nice pick off on Mickey, but Matuma Man proved to be a little bit trickier of a target to go for.
Good lord, it was close though, right? Came in.
Yeah, it was close. Just the initial fight didn't go well enough for them, right? The Zai gets like double 4-staffed away, so Duracho commits his BKB without even really getting the kill. Matu managed to run it boom, so he also popped his BKB pretty defensively. And all of this is happening before Mickey has even really had to enter the fight. And the Lesh can do so much work if he comes in after both of the BKBs have already been popped, as we saw. He can die, as we've also spotted, but yeah, they need to kill him and the Veno in the duration of their BKBs, and that's going to get harder and harder as these BKBs start to dwindle down.
Yeah, it's seeming like their days are numbered. I don't know, what other defensive items can they go for to make themselves last through these engagements?
On Gaimin. That they can't. It's actually just, I think it's like just offensive items for them. They got to get the Daedalus, they got to get the Basher. They have to, when they jump onto their targets, they have to die. That's kind of it. He can, I mean, he's going to go for a Satanic to have another Dispel, but I think he still gets kited even with the Satanic. Yeah,
I mean, the Satanic kind of just allows him to fight into the Lifestealer, get rid of the open wounds, and keep rolling into him.
Bottom tower
But what a game. Like, no one feels immortal in this game, that's for sure. Like, everyone feels killable. And that's why it's so scary for Liquid as well, you know. Like, they've had the advantage so many times, and they do just feel like their draft is stronger. And it does feel like their draft is stronger, in my opinion. But if you just make one misstep, this Ursa or this Shadow Fiend is just going to tear you apart.
Yeah, Gaimin's certainly making them work for it. And every single time that we kind of, things calm down for a second, they are kind of continuously taking the net worth lead back. So very slightly in Liquid's favor now. 2 minutes on the Aegis, and Matu does use the Rage. Just wants some more chip. They chipped top quite a bit already, but deciding to go bottom this time around. Just have the lanes in a better position for this one.
You've got to be careful as well. Boxy looking to get the toss back as well. He's got the 4-staff, so toss out, then jump back out, and that's exactly what he's going to try and do here to Boom. Boxy's still hanging around though. He's holding the 4-staff for now. Not really immediately getting himself out. He's trying to bait here. This is really, really cheeky for Boxy. He can get out anytime he wants, just to be clear. Well, not 4-staff down to low ground, but there's a glimpse. Okay, that might have been what he was looking out for, as Matu now coming into the fight. But I mean, he's very, very deep in at the moment, and so is Mickey. Mickey not really finding the targets here. Pulse Nova kind of off the mark. He's got a BKB should he need to use it. As yes, it's into the backlines. What are you doing, Durachio? That's a deep, deep dive for you. They'll try and get himself outside, trying to chase him with the Poison Nova. The Cold Scepter's going to keep him alive, but will fall eventually to the Firestorm. Matuma Man getting so low as well. He's got the Aegis, of course, but Mickey glimpses back in. Loads of damage, but the Yules comes out. Boom might be the one going down instead. Requiem comes down, stops the Lifestealer from getting the final hit onto him, and he's actually going to be able to make it back to the Founders. Durachio gets on top of the Lifestealer and starts tearing him apart. The Ursa mauling away at the Lifestealer. They're going to kill him off. 4 down on the side of Liquid. Gaimin Gladiators making a huge hold here in the bottom lane.
Big gamble from Durachio making the backstab and coming in and killing off Insania, but he gets away with it. He manages to walk back through. Yeah, and you just see it's like Ursa coming up from the bottom of your screen, and we're like, what the heck is he doing here? They double 4-staff him. Zai can't manage to hit him with the Poison Nova. And the whole time, Celery is just sitting there right-clicking with the impetus shots as well. Liquid, they couldn't quite seem to decide if they wanted to hard commit or if they wanted to back away. And it is one of these things that's tricky against the Disruptor. You know, as we saw from Boxy, once you're up onto the high ground, Tofu is not going to let you leave easily.
Yeah, that's it. The glimpse just being such a counter. I mean, if Boxy's super quick and like jumps in, tosses back, 4-staffs away, then it's likely that the glimpse will probably just glimpse him in place and he won't be caught in the high ground. But at the same time, if you wait a little bit on the Disruptor or you get the timing a little bit wrong, then you're just dead.
I think Enchantress was the #1 damage dealer in that last fight. He did 5.6k damage.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that was so Ursa 3.8k, Underlord 4.1. Celery is becoming the true cat. I mean, look at his net worth. He's only 4k behind the Underlord. He's overtaken Zai. Celery putting in some work.
Goddamn. Might be named after a gross vegetable, but playing like a super fruit. It works, okay. Shut up.
Okay,
Stop
well, they're smoked up. Look, I mean, Gaimin Gladiators feeling confident. That was a huge blow to Liquid's momentum.
Yeah.
They're probably thinking that Aegis was going to secure the Mirax, but slightly misexecuted team fight.
Oh, Boxy will be a great target here, and they're immediately going to jump on him, but quick reactions from Boxy. Avalanche forced off away, and he has got a lifestealer inside of him. Matu's going to jump out and start hitting on Duratio. Duratio trying to trade into the lifestealer, but with his spells running out, he's used both the Enrage and the BKB here, so Duratio now needs to leave, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to. Meanwhile, he's caught inside the blast range off Mickey. Salary just blasting from the high ground, though, getting off that DPS as Tofu trying to control them up. They're able to get off the lifestealer. Celery and Duratio get it done. Duratio going in for more. He knows he's going to die, but he wants to make as much use of his death as possible. Celery just tearing away at Mickey. Mickey can't survive through the blasts of the Celery. Ace is going to be able to get a couple of kills inside this fight as well. Just a Firestorm doing work onto Zai. 4 heroes dead on Liquid. What is happening?
Absolute destruction from the Gaimin Gladiators supports. Tofu chilling on that high ground this entire time, just waiting. He's standing by the ward. He's waiting for Matoma Man's rage to run out. And then Matu, in a second, you're going to see him trying to reset on the fight. And suddenly there's just a static storm on his head. Yeah, here we go. And then Celery running in with the BKB. The support's totally carrying that one for Gaimin Gladiators. And now they're up onto the high ground.
For real. God damn. This is getting ridiculous. Like, how much more can Liquid take is starting to be the question. Like, every single fight, they're just kind of getting blasted, and they can't get on the back lines. They can't seem to keep their Venomancer alive. They can't get off a good Poison Nova. Like, how are these team fights so difficult to execute for Liquid?
I think it's just because it's really hard for them to kind of commit as well if the supports don't die. As we've seen, once you're in the fight against the Disruptor, if he doesn't die immediately, you can't really disengage. You're forced to just man fight it out. Multiple fights now, but both of these last 2 fights, they've tried to kill the Ursa. It's looked like he's used all of his defensive buttons, and then he gets double force-staffed and like earth shocks away, and suddenly it's actually Matu who's in a pretty compromised position. So yeah, the teamfight execution just looking a little bit crisper for Gaimin Gladiators in these last 2.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Shivas is even the right call for Mickey. I wonder if he could have gone for like a... The Ags is weird because it's not very friendly for your lifestealer, but yeah, he's still kind of getting shredded by the right clicks. Though not even just the Shadow Fiend and the Ursa, it's also the Enchantress who's just giving him a really hard time.
Yeah, it is. He can't seem to like back away from the fights. And I mean, having to use your Yules to just get rid of those impetuses actually really hurts Mickey because, as we mentioned, it's a great Ursa answer. So if you run into the fight without that available, the Ursa can just jump you and start smashing away, and there's not much you can do. That is a tool he needs to keep hold of. So,
yeah, it's not going to save him as a defensive option. Oh, Liquid smoked up again. Roshan is up. Are they just once again going to force this one? Centaur Courser not scouting it.
Yep, this does force Gaimin Gladiators to be the aggressor in this fight, and half health already. It's gone down pretty quick, but Liquid, they see Gaimin approaching, and they need to be cautious about this. Observer on the high ground. In goes Boxy. 3-man Avalanche tossing back one of them as Jiracho getting deep into the fight. Popping the Enrage early on. Not the BKB though, so holding on to that secondary item. He almost rips through Matu. In the backlines, Boxy is finally going to fall, but a buyback from him as the BKB runs out from Jiracho. He needs to get away from Mickey, who finds a 2-man stun. Tries to follow up here. He's got the BKB as well, getting off a lot of damage in this fight, but it's going to be enough as part of the man jumps out and just getting shredded. The Lifestealer is dead. Mickey's gonna follow. He's so close to death. He's surviving through it. Oh my god, finally drops does get brought down by the side of Gaimin Gladiators. Boxy as well, barely surviving with the dive back here. Celery trying to catch him, will force stuff down to the low ground, starts taking some hits, and the force stuff is there, and the big crit comes out from the Shadow Fiend. Liquid sent scattering once again.
Insanely expensive team fight for Liquid. They put 3 buybacks into that. It just took them everything to kill the Ursa, who just does not seem like he cares about the Venomancer at all anymore. And yeah, Game gonna be the ones to come clean up the Roche. Boom picking up the Aegis, and Game very firmly looking like it's in Gaimin Gladiators' hands now. Yeah, this fight. Matsu didn't want to pop out. He was waiting it out. They got a nice stun. He comes out, just immediately gets feared by the right click from Boom, and just dies. Yeah, it almost seemed like Mickey was going to be able to survive with a little bit of spell lifesteal, but.
And this is the Ursa versus Lifestealer matchup. You know, we mentioned it is a factor in the mid game. Oh my god, look at the focus here from Duracho here, just wide-eyed.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
That smile.
Yeah, with this kind of net worth deficit, I don't know.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I don't know what you're gonna be able to do in these in these team fights.
Radiant's top
Shadowfiend's an
tower
absolute monster now. Ursa, as we've also seen, really struggling to deal with him.
As you mentioned, this is Liquid in full comfort mode. You know, these are heroes they're very happy playing with, but Gaimin, I mean, this is what happens when you have the full season playing against each other, playing in the same regions, scrimming against each other. Like, these teams just know each other so well.
Yeah, I do think Liquid have to be kicking themselves a little bit for how that that bottom fight went, but huge credit to Gaimin in terms of how they were able to. They were getting sieged by the Aegis, and still Duracho with all the confidence in the world to just backstab the team fight, force Liquid to take it, and they got caught between a rock and a hard place a little bit.
Yeah, I almost feel like Liquid kind of, I don't know, outpaced themselves in that bottom fight where they were kind of just trying to go in, go out, you know, play some really high tempo, high execution team fight there, but with the Enchantress just throwing spears at them, you know, it's almost like sometimes you're just trying to play all these like different mechanics in the game, and there's just Celery throwing spears at you the entire time.
Yeah, pretty much.
So much damage, you know.
Yeah,
It sounds stupid, but
the way that they've played these fights and the way that it was working for them, like especially in that first fight around the Roshan pit, was being able to reset after the BKBs. But as the game has gone on, it's proved to be really, really difficult against the Pit of Malice and the Glimpse and everything else for Liquid to make these plays where they're forcing BKBs and then kind of still getting out intact, right? Boxy's succeeded in forcing BKBs, but every single time he's paying for it with his life. And
yeah,
Liquid do need that additional stun to kind of keep the team fight going afterwards.
And in your opinion, how much impact is the Underlord having in these team fights?
I think it's a lot, but it's hard to see. He's just kind of one of those heroes where like the atrophy aura is very difficult to actually feel the impact of when you're just looking at it, but all of this aura stacking that he's doing, I think, is a big reason why Mickey just doesn't look that scary. Like, the Leshrac is running into the middle of all of these heroes, but they've got the pipe aura, they've got the Wraith Pack down, and this aura stacking that he's doing, I think, is a big reason why Mickey just doesn't look that scary. Like, the Leshrac is running into the middle of all of these heroes, but they've got the pipe aura, they've got the Wraith Pack down, and so Boom and Duracho are able to just stand their ground and deliver the damage.
I think it's especially hard for Marty, right? Because does Rage get rid of the Atrophy Aura?
It's a good question.
Pretty sure it stays on.
Yeah, Pierce's spell immunity, yes. So yeah, it does. It does work. The Wraith Pack doesn't. So the Rage is still useful, but the Atrophy Aura is kind of a pain.
Yeah, that's what's proving, like, giving Marty big problems in these fights, I feel like, because he's got it looks like he's got so much damage, but you see him in the fights, he's just like a kitten with no claws.
It is only base damage reduction, so you know all of his itemization, it's not too much of a problem against. But yes, they are making the lifesteal look not very scary in these fights between their force stabs and all the survivability that they've managed to pick up.
Yeah. Gaimin, 28k gold advantage, 29k gold advantage, 28k gold advantage over Liquid at the moment as they control the map. They're going to farm up this whole thing. Liquid, is it go time?
20 seconds on Aegis. But maybe they try and make a move then. I don't know if they're close to any other items. The progression has kind of stalled out. They're once again trying to make this Matu and Boxy save the world, infest, gank play, seeing if they can spot anything up here. Just get the waves out a little bit longer.
Yeah, just utilizing the ninja gear, the movement speed, the smoke. But alas, there's no one to be found, so Boxy's just going to take these creeps and probably TP on home.
Yeah, the lane pressure shouldn't amount to too much against the... If they really need to, they can just send the Underlord back. Or they can gate anybody to top, and then they can clear it and come back. So it's just buying a little bit more time. Game. I really like the way that they're playing. They're not being too greedy. They're not splitting up on the map. They're just keeping everybody all together. They know that they've got a huge lead. And can probably just continue to nurse it from here. It does start to feel like they're just outscaling the side of Liquid. We're kind of desperate to find a pick-off to start one of these fights.
Yeah, Hex just picked up by Ace here. They might not be expecting this. The Underlord, he's going to have some fight impact beyond just laying down auras.
Dude, this Enchantress is so farmed. He's got 18.8k net worth. He's going to give him a little longer. He's going to overtake Matu as Zai dies.
Yeah, Zai just gets mauled to death. And that's just going to be it. Just the one pick-off, but still a pretty important one.
Boxy and Matu have to be getting so frustrated. Like, can you just split up and farm, please? What is going on here? There's nobody to be seen on the map. Matu just going to pop out and try and hit some Ancients for himself.
Yeah, Gaimin just best friends, you know. We saw this in a few series now. When you're this far ahead, just stick together, hold each other's hands, you know, feel the love. There's no reason to be out alone, Rambo, power gaming, you know, just enjoy each other's company. Connect with one another.
There's been plenty of games that we've seen where, like, a huge lead, one guy gets picked off, and suddenly it just snowballs into a turnaround. So I'm loving the discipline here from Game. I do wonder what they're thinking of as, like, their condition to go high
They're just
ground.
thinking of how much they love each other, you know. That's all that's on their minds. They're just throwing out. That's all it is.
Just more items. We're not even going to see the Arcane Blink from Boom. He's actually just going full right click, looking at the Swift Blink. Oh, they found Matu.
Okay, Rage out, trying to get away from this one. Doesn't TP though, because he can't. There's a Basher Ursa behind him. Matu's got to have to play his way out of this one and does make his way over towards the trees. They don't keep an eye on him too fast with the Rage movement bonus speed, so he gets himself away.
Boxy makes a sneaky play. They're going to have the outpost for like all of 5 seconds, but it's something.
Or are they?
Gaimin, anyone, any outpost enjoyers? Okay. hit the camp first. Ace is on the case. And Celery just waiting for the rush. Only an 18-second respawn, so pretty quick. Seems like that's what Gaimin is waiting for. This might be good for Liquid because they're likely going to try for a smoke right as the rush on Windows starts.
Yeah, seems likely, but it's super quick. Oh my god, Insania. He has got to go Scepter, so he's going to survive through the right clicks of Boom, but Boom, he's tempted to go for more here. They do actually catch out Tofu on the stun, but that's not the target you really want to initiate upon here, especially not up to the high ground, so they will concede this area of the map to Gaimin for now. They want to come back. They've got to do it under the guise of a smoke. Meanwhile, their lanes are just constantly being hammered in, so they're going to need to deal with that one.
Yeah, so they do have one smoke left. Gaimin have already scouted out the fact that Roshan's respawned. So Liquid kind of do or die play for them, but the Roshan's going to just drop so quickly. I don't think they're not even going to make it anywhere close. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Roshan's respawned. So Liquid kind of do or die play for them, but the Roshan's going to just drop so quickly. I don't think they're not even going to make it anywhere close. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Ace and Boom making very quick work of this. They're actually not
like, guys, don't worry, your Rosh Taker's here.
Yeah.
Don't worry, everyone, I'm here.
Cheese, refresher shard, anybody? Any takers? Okay, Tofu's gonna grab those. Hold on to them for the team. I am a little surprised that they chose to give the Ags to the Ursa over the Disruptor, but
Yeah.
maybe
I
less
don't like that at all,
important
but
this game.
nah, there's no way. There's no way. I think Disruptor Axe is always just go. He's got Nocturne Core as well.
Yeah, it's
don't
like if
refresh the shard,
Diracho
come
really
on.
wanted an Ags, he could
Come
have
on.
just bought it for himself, right? He's got got plenty of net worth.
You can farm it. Tofu cannot. He's got one little lightning orb to try and get himself 4,200 gold. I mean, to be fair, he is close, but he's actually. Jump in. Shadow Fiend been thrown deep into enemy base, but he has got the Aegis, so maybe not the target they want to go on, but they will be able to take him down. So no more raids on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. Dratio as well. He's popped the BKB, so he's not going to be able to get much magic resistance going in this fight, but Boom's going to be able to blow up Boxy with the Requiem. Nice poison never coming out from Zai as well, but he might get eaten up here as Dratio looking for targets, but now he's running out. He needs to be forced off away from this one, trying to use second and raids. Matu's looking for a target, gonna go start eating away at Ace here. Ace though so damn tanky, and also Tofu, he's managing to land the Static Storm out onto the Lifestealer. It's going to take a Wind Waker there, I think so.
Yep.
Toss back onto Matu to keep him safe as Liquid. They make this fight work for them. Only Boxy going down and buying back and immediately looking for more, using this Ninja Gear to try and find someone who's split up from the pack.
Gaimin, gotta be careful. They're not here.
Boom.
Everyone's
see
going
Boom.
through the
They're going
gate.
to try and go for him. Do they have the damage, though? The Shadow Fiend, he is very tanky, and he's got a Satanic as well, so he's going to start pounding into Boxy to heal himself back up again. They'll jet over top towards the Tiny. Tiny is gone. Leshak as well, out for the count. I think Matu might be in similar trouble here as he gets eaten up by the side of Gaimin Gladiators. 3 heroes dead without buyback on the side of Liquid. Make it 4, and there it is. Your GG's come through. Wow. Gaimin Gladiators. I mean, I didn't believe it all, but I'm completely wrong. What a game from them.
I was a huge doubter of the Underlord, but there you go. Gaimin Gladiators make it work. They get the farm. Yeah, look that they
Yep. Sorry,
Liquid
Ace.
were never.
Should have
They,
trusted you. Sorry,
yeah,
Mortal
look,
Faith.
they were never that far ahead, but they did really like it looked really difficult